In this video, I'm going to review the Star Wars Gold Edition and Harry Potter Slytherin Edition playing cards by Theory 11. How's it going, guys? Hope you're doing good, and today I received a package from the Card Inn, and inside that package are two decks of cards I've been waiting for a very long time, namely the Harry Potter and Star Wars cards by Theory 11. Now, as a big fan of both franchises, this is something I am super excited for. I cannot wait to crack into these decks and take a look, and I'm going to give you my honest opinions about them, which may surprise you. Yeah, I'm going to save my thoughts for this one later on, and we're going to kick things off with the Harry Potter cards, which I sort of weirdly predicted quite a while ago. I said that Theory 11 should make a Harry Potter deck and give it the treatment it deserves, because the cards that were on the market at the time were just very below par. So it's amazing to see that it has finally happened, and yeah, let's open the cards up and take a look. As with all playing card reviews, we're going to start with the box, and Theory 11 are known for their intricate box designs, and this is no exception. This is a very intricate gold embossing, gold foiling design, and in a way, it might be too much. Like, just looking at this, it's incredibly busy. There's a lot to focus on, and in a way, you can't really appreciate it because there is so much. I'm a big fan of the sort of frame around the outside, and if I zoom in, we'll take a closer look at this. We've got the sort of emblems in the four corners of the four houses, a nice sort of silhouette of Hogwarts, and the text in the center. All of this, the texture, very, very tactile, all embossed, and a really, really nice use of the colors. I went for the Slytherin version, and I think the green version is definitely my favorite, probably followed by the blue variation that they also sell. They sell one for each house. Originally, I actually did buy all four color variations of the Harry Potter cards. They were shipped to me, and then the postman decided it was a good idea to put them in the bin. Genuinely, that happened, so they're in the bin. But I did eventually get a deck, which I'm very, very glad about, and I like it. All in all, I like the box design. It is very, very intricate. On this side, we have Wingardium Leviosa. Over here, Expecto Patronus, nice little references. That's the bottom of the box, and this is the sticker. Now, I've already cracked into these, but the sticker, it's nice. You know, I would have liked something a little bit brighter and bolder. Again, the detail here is very, very fine and very easy to get lost. Cracking into the box, the tab here, I'm a big, big fan of. The glasses, the lightning bolt, it's all just very iconic imagery, and that imagery continues here. We've got a lightning bolt and the Deathly Hallows symbol. Inside of the box is also detailed. If I remove the cards, kind of difficult to see in there, but you can kind of appreciate some of the detailing. And again, it's in that lovely Slytherin green, which just shines in the light. It is a fantastic box. And as I've spoken about before, I don't want to repeat myself too much, but Theory 11 decks sort of have this issue of the box being so good that when you take the cards out, it can be a bit of a letdown. I'll show you what I mean. See the back design right here, it just doesn't compare to the box. Now, if you're expecting that, that's perfectly fine. If you've had Theory 11 decks in the past, you know that there's this difference, but for newcomers, I always feel a bit sorry that they look at this and they think, oh wow, the cards are just gonna be the greatest thing I've ever seen, and they get to this, which is a really, really nice design, don't get me wrong, but it's not quite the same as this gold embossed and foiled design over here. But it's still a really great back design. It sort of retains this classic feel, and it might be a weird comparison, but this actually reminds me very much of the Derren Brown playing cards that Theory 11 made, especially in the green color, almost like a classical sort of scripture. Again, there's so much detail going on here. I can't even mention half of it, but obviously we've got some symbols in the corner right here. The lettering I could do without, and then in the center, snakes and glasses and so many references to almost every single movie or book. So going through the cards then one by one, this top card, is an ad card, which I think is potentially a bit of a waste. I actually really like the design of it. In a way, it could be an alternate back design. So I don't have an issue with the design, I just wish they'd have given us something else. You know, even a duplicate would have been a nice addition. But there we go, that is the ad card. And we also get another ad card, this one just for Theory 11. Again, I don't really see the value in this. This seems like 2 cards wasted, but that is sort of a theme with Theory 11 decks. They like their ad cards, they like their branding, and they don't really like to give you extras like duplicates or magic props and gimmicks, and they don't do that. So yeah, that's sort of to be expected. The next card down is where the deck begins, so to speak. We have the Ace of Hearts, and all of the aces in the deck are leading aces. I really like the pattern in the center there, and that actually continues to the number cards in very, very small ways in the center of every pip. That design is there, which at first I wasn't a fan of, but I think your eyes kind of adjust, they kind of get used to it, and I really appreciate the extra effort. This is where things get interesting though, because with their franchise decks of cards, the court cards have characters on them, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing which characters have been chosen, because Harry Potter has a lot of characters, so it's going to be difficult to choose the right characters, but this first card is Ron, I believe, although is that Ron? I'm not entirely sure. It's kind of difficult to tell. I think the design is hurt a little bit by the fact that it's in black and white. Obviously, one of Ron's defining features is the ginger hair, and with it being in black and white, it kind of weirdly looks like Harry from the Goblet of Fire, like with the sort of long black hair, obviously black in black and white, but it's not the best. It doesn't really look too much like Rupert Grint, which I think is a shame. The next one down, the Queen of Hearts, is much, much better. That is very obviously Hermione. Really looks like Emma Watson. They've really captured her look there, and I especially appreciate the sort of inclusion of some of the Hogwarts uniform, sort of captured in the classic court card style center there, and the fact that the design breaks the frame, like she's sort of going outside of the frame. I'm glad the designers didn't feel like they had to keep within that frame. It makes the card just feel so much bigger, so much more expansive. I really, really like that design. That's really, really good, yeah, especially this sort of inclusion of the little splash of red at the end of the wand, just to add a little bit of color. The next card is obviously, of course, there I am, Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter. Yeah, that looks brilliant. That looks absolutely fantastic. Instead of a wand, we actually have a broom at the side here, and in the center, the golden snitch. Great little inclusion. All these little references I really appreciate. It does look like a slightly younger Daniel Radcliffe. Like, it looks like Harry from one of the earlier movies compared to these two, which I very much think are from the later movies, maybe even the last movie, Deathly Hallows Part 2, but this one, if you told me it was from, you know, one of the first sort of 3 movies, I'd believe that. So it's weird how there's a sort of age gap. I'm not sure if that was intended or not, but either way, I like it, and I appreciate the fact that these 3 are the Hearts, the Hearts court cards. That is just perfect in my eyes. I couldn't think of any better characters. Moving on to the next card, this is the Ace of Clubs. Interesting, okay. So at the center here, we have this locket. It almost looks like a sort of black void in this club. I really, really like the darkness here. That has been really, really well captured. And I'm assuming, yep, these carry on to the number cards. Brilliant, brilliant inclusion. And I'll skip through these briefly, but they all pretty much follow the same idea. Now we get to the clubs, the club court cards, and Draco Malfoy takes the Jack of Clubs. What a card. What a card. That is fantastic. It is so much like the actor, so much like Tom Felton. It's almost like captured an emotion there, which I think is so rare in playing cards. You never see like the emotion of an actor captured, but the art style here has absolutely knocked it out the park. This is a brilliant, brilliant card. Definitely the best one so far. You can almost see like the torment, the turbulence there. Brilliant. I love that one. Next up, we have the Queen of Clubs, Bellatrix. Interesting. I don't think the face is actually that good, but it kind of gets away with it. The hair and everything else is definitely Bellatrix, so it absolutely screams the character, but not sure the art style for the face has actually perfected it. But yeah, there we go. That's the Queen of Clubs, the King of Clubs. is the Dark Lord himself. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get that wrong, but it's really, really nice. The inclusion of the wand here, which isn't the Elder Wand, that is interesting. It's actually the bone wand that he has before that. I would expect the Elder Wand, but perhaps that's with Dumbledore. And there's some sort of text along the side here that says Tom Riddle, actually. Just along each side it says Tom Riddle. Interesting, the only other card that has text with the character's name is Hermione. So for some reason Hermione and Voldemort both have that text. The other ones don't really know why, but it's an interesting design choice, I appreciate it. And that is the King of Clubs, which means now we should be getting to the other kings. Haha, Dumbledore. This is really well designed. Nice inclusion of forks at the side here, and it almost looks like a mix between the two actors in a way. Like, I can see a little bit of Richard Harris and a little bit of Michael Gambon here. What would have been nice, actually, is to have the two ends be Richard Harris and Michael Gambon. Maybe that would have been asking too much of the designers. Either way, I really like it. There is no Elder Wand on this card, though. Really interesting. Where is the Elder Wand? That is an odd thing to sort of miss out on this card, but I really like the design style here. The Queen of Diamonds is, of course, Professor McGonagall. We're on a professor vibe. And the face here has been fairly well captured. Something slightly off about it, a little bit Uncanny Valley, but other than that, really nice art style, and the cat has been included, the animagus form of Professor McGonagall. I love that card, that's great, it's really captured the character and the sort of, yeah, the magic of that character. The Jack of Diamonds is Sirius Black. That's odd. I thought this would be sort of the Professors of Hogwarts. Apparently not. Sirius Black, really, really stunning card, actually. With the rest of the court cards, some of their iconic costumes of that character have been captured. So with the Hogwarts students, it's a little bit of the uniform. With Dumbledore, it's the sort of robes he wears. With Sirius, what I really appreciate is his sort of Azkaban prisoner uniform with like the lettering here, that sort of placard he has, but it's also like regal. It's also like when he's sort of smartened up. So it's a nice blend of the two sort of versions of the way that character looks. I'm a big fan of that, Sirius Black. I think it had to be included in this deck, so a worthy inclusion. The diamonds follow suit, no pun intended, with the little emblem in the center there, and this is the Ace of Diamonds, which gives you a much better look at that design. The King of Spades now is Severus Snape, which really fits the black and white style. I'd almost forgotten that the deck was in black and white, which I guess is a good thing. I think actually the art style really benefits from it. It's definitely grown on me, the black and whites, and here it just works perfectly. We've got a little potion, we've got the advanced potion making book right here from Half-Blood Prince. This is a perfect representation of the character. Nice little details, not too bland at all. And then the next one is the Queen of Spades, Luna Lovegood. Interesting. These two characters definitely don't go together. The spades sort of feel like, I don't know, the leftover characters. They don't really have a theme of a reason they should go together, but I like it nonetheless. She's wearing the Quibbler glasses. Got an issue of the Quibbler right there, I believe. And just overall really captures the look of the character. In a way, this card actually, again, is sort of hurt by the fact that it's in black and white. Luna is a very colourful character. It would be great to see some pinks and yellows coming through here, but nonetheless, a really nice card. And the final court card is Neville. Okay. Neville right here, we've got the little toad, little plant, couple of little details. Overall, it's, you know, a relatively bland card really, but it's captured Neville. I guess Neville had to be included. It makes perfect sense, and there are so many characters in Harry Potter. Like I said, it would be impossible to include everyone. Even if you had 2 characters on every court card, you could, you know, fill 4 decks over practically. So yeah, it must have been an incredible challenge for the designers to decide who makes it into the deck and who doesn't. Same issue applies really with Star Wars, but I think Star Wars nailed it, and Harry Potter here, I think also nailed it. I'm very happy with the inclusions of the characters. The spades here are just fantastic. Wow, that Ace of Spades. I was not ready for that Ace of Spades. God, there's a lot going on here. The sort of tip of the spade being like the spire of Hogwarts, that is perfect. Looks like we've got almost like the Hungarian horntail or something. The golden snitch on the other side. Hedwig, of course, had to be included. Wow, there's so much detail going on there. That is brilliant. Theory 11. Hats off to you. That's definitely the best card in the deck, by a long shot. The two Jokers, of course. Dobby and Hagrid. Absolutely wonderful inclusions. Perfect, perfect choices. And that is the Harry Potter deck of cards. Overall, I mean, I've got to give it a 9 out of 10. It is nearly perfect. So brilliant. The character choices, the art style. The only thing that lets it down is that back design. For me, personally, it's just too busy. There's too much going on. I can't really appreciate it. But the characters and the faces of the cards, wow, just brilliant. If you're a Harry Potter fan and you're into collecting playing cards, this is almost a must-have. It ticks so many boxes and then some. So yeah, highly recommend the Harry Potter playing cards. But now we need to look at the Star Wars Gold Edition because I have some thoughts about it. So here we go. These are the gold Star Wars playing cards. And before we get to this Gold Edition one, there have been a lot of Star Wars playing cards. We've got the Mandalorian deck right here, which I kind of see as its own thing just because the design is so different and so unique inside and out. And then we have these four. First of all, these two, the red and blue playing cards, the originals that came out God knows how long ago, feels like quite a while now, and then the silver special edition. That is 4, plus the gold edition makes 5 decks of cards, all with the same design. Like, seriously, the design does not change from deck to deck. The only thing that changes is the colour. The box, the cards, the fronts, the backs, even the stickers are all pretty much the same except for the colour, which begs the question, why does this deck exist? It's hard to understand why this deck exists other than just for a money grab. At what point does it become lazy to drop the same back design, the same deck of cards, into an editing program, change the colour, send it to the printer and wallow in the money? At what point is it lazy? And we see that so many times with decks of cards. Whenever a design becomes popular, it's not long before another colour variation comes out, and another colour variation comes out, and another colour variation comes out. And this is coming from someone who's released a deck of cards and then released another colour of it. And I am openly admitting that it's the same deck with a different colour, but you have to have a reason to do it. With the red and blue, I can fully understand why there are 2 different colours of it. Red lightsabers, blue lightsabers, it makes perfect sense. Then you get to the white and black, the silver special edition. Okay, I can see why these exist. The light side, the dark side, it has a Star Wars theme, right? It's saying something, potentially. Maybe you disagree. But then we get to the gold edition and I'm struggling. I'm struggling to understand why this exists. And it makes it so tough because I love it. That's what makes this so difficult. Look at this deck. Look at this. If this existed on its own, I wouldn't be complaining about it. I wouldn't be saying this is lazy. It's a fantastic design. It's just because there are others that have come before that are basically identical in a different colour, it makes it really difficult to review. I love this deck. It's great. Look, when you crack it open, I was saying before with the Harry Potter cards, you take the cards out the box and, it's a bit of a letdown. Not here. They are gold, they are shiny gold on the back design. And yes, that is beautiful. That is something different. That is a redeeming feature and it's something that maybe you want to, invest in. If you've already got the others, this is something different and it's something worthwhile. But the faces of the cards, identical. Identical. And I'm not going to go through them. I've already done videos on the others. If you want to see the full review of those cards, it pretty much applies here except that back design. So I'll link those below if you're interested. Damn, this is tough to review because I love it. I want to recommend it, but I don't think we should be encouraging playing card companies to start to get lazy and just repeat and repeat and repeat because they found a winning formula. I want more Star Wars decks, but I want them like this. I want them new and unique with different designs. It serves a different purpose. That is what I want in my playing cards. I don't just want the same deck again, I want it to say something. I want it to do something else that the others couldn't quite achieve, whether it's improving on it, whether it's adding things, whether it's even taking things away that didn't work. Whatever it is, I want change, I want improvements. The way I see it is almost like producing the sequel to a movie. If something's really popular, they make a sequel, and that's great. I love sequels. but I want it to do something else. I want it to have a different story. Yes, the same characters, yes, maybe the same tropes or whatever. You know, I'm a fan of nostalgia as much as anyone, but I want it to achieve something else. And this deck, does it achieve something else? That's the question. Is making the back design shiny enough to warrant a brand new deck of cards, or is this just a money grab? That isn't something I can answer, really. I think that is an entirely personal choice of when you pick up these cards, what you think of them, and whether you want to go the extra effort and buy another Star Wars deck of cards. I want more Star Wars cards, of course, but there are so many other options. Don't just make the existing cards shiny, give us something else. A Clone Wars deck, an Obi-Wan deck, you know, the new Andor show's coming out. Why not produce a deck for that? There are so many options out there, and I just don't think this is the way of doing it. So I'm going to recommend it, but sort of half, and I'm not really going to give it a rating. I think this is such an interesting conversation to have, and it's something that we should be talking about more in the playing card world, and calling it out when we think it is lazy. So there we have it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, make sure to hit the thumbs up button down below on your way out, and subscribe as well if you're new to the channel and you've never seen a video from me. If you're a magician or you want to be a magician, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more deck reviews, tutorials, discussions about anything and everything to do with magic. This is the channel for you, so make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.